passions or core beliefs. You have a couple of them. The depression was one that we all walk around going, I'm depressed, and maybe that's not always the case.
Right.
And what are some more?
I think that the other one that for me is an integration of the three practice areas that I work in is around leadership.
Okay.
Which is recognizing that we are all leaders.
Got to explain that one.
Well, I think I was giving you the example of the problematic approach that corporations take to developing leaders, where they tend to slice off the top of the company, the top 100 people,
the cream,
and call them the leaders,
yeah.
and then the rest of us are called the employees or the managers, and the same thing, and then people put themselves into boxes and say, oh, well, I'm not a leader, or, you know, those are the people that are the bosses, they are the leaders, they're the ones that we should look to for direction.
Right.
And then the same thing plays out in outside the corporation in our lives when you say, oh, I'm not a leader, you know, or complain about our leaders in our country or in our...
Well, tell us about that during this election year.
Well,
yes.
I think that we have a tendency to sort of separate ourselves and say, those are the leaders, those people that have chosen to be on TV or chosen to take executive roles.
Right.
But I'm actually a firm believer and very passionate about the idea that we're all leaders.
Okay.
That actually every time you get up in the morning, you're leading your life.
Don't you love that?
You know, we're taking
really
responsibility for our own lives. And that if we start to think about ourselves as leaders, then in a corporate setting, for example, we might look around at a much broader constituency within the organization to find leadership, to find innovation, to find ideas, to find people that would have impact. It might come from the very lowest to the middle to anywhere in the organization. And I think it's unfortunate that we decide that the only people that have leadership capabilities or qualities or talents, there's a very small slice of the population. I think it's something that as a good life coach, you want to develop leadership in
everybody.
everyone.
I love that, and we all do lead our lives, and that's not always easy, so let's give credit where credit's due. Right. And believe it or not, we have 2 minutes left, so you have one. I know, I told you. I told him it was going to go so fast, but you have one more that passionate belief that we are all
artists.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I think we make the same mistake around creativity, which is that we all need to get in touch with our inner artist.
Yeah.
You know, I always remind groups when I'm working with teens, is if we were all 7 years old and we are all playing, I don't think any one of us would say we're not an artist.
And how would we, I mean, we narrow it down, and we were talking about art and you know, who's, say, great literature. How would we tell that with a group of 7-year-olds? You just have to let them go wild and express their artists.
And that artist is still in all of us.
Yes, yes, and it gets squelched by definitions and walls and
the bills and the mortgage and the responsibilities.
And life, But this gentleman is helping tear down some walls in a very creative way.
But I would say that anyone that's out there thinking about coaching, like becoming a coach or wanting to potentially utilize a coach, that's one of the things that a coach is really, really helpful for, is to get you back in touch with your passion, get you back in touch with your inner child, the artist in all of us.
Yes.
And then to support you in bringing that out in the world.
Absolutely.
Which is, as you know, a challenge.
I thank you a million times for coming on this show. It is so great, and it's so great to hear you doing innovative things with what we've all been, our constructions and our boxes, you know, being told, well, you can't do this if you do this. You're showing that you really can do this. So it's www.life-shifting.com. 9 tips to really shift your life into high gear. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.